everyone, this is Shadow the Rat, and in this video I thought I would show you guys some of this PetSmart haul that I recently got. So the first thing you can see here is the yesterday's news, and that is just the giant bags of litter. So right here. And this stuff is just what I use in my cage as my main bedding. The next thing I have here is the rat's Oxbow. This is just one of their 3-pound bags, and you can buy it from most pet stores. And the reason I get these instead of the 20-pound bags is probably just because I like to go in and browse and see what they have. And it kind of gives me an excuse to actually go inside the pet store. And now we get on to the fun stuff. So the first thing we have here is this little Parrot Tent. Oh, and by the way, all of this stuff is going to be bird toys, because in terms of rats, I find that the rodent toys don't tend to be very fun, while the bird toys are more stimulating, they're more engaging, so I just tend to go for the bird toys over any of the other toys out there. So anyway, this is a hanging hut. I hang it inside the cage. The rats like to sleep inside in this little hole right here. They're going to chew it up really quickly, but the rats really love these, so every single time I go, I tend to get one of these. The next thing we have here is this little water fountain, as it's called. Basically, you just put some water in this little cup right here, and you can use this little knob to secure it to the outside of the cage, and this makes it so that the rats can't actually put any bedding inside the little water dish. And my rats really like a water dish, all rats do, but they tend to get it really messy, and so my girls always have water bottles, and I'm still going to have all my water bottles in the cage. However, I wanted to try giving them a little bath of sorts like this, and especially now that it's hot outside, it's nice to be able to give them a more direct access to water. So yeah, that's going to be fun to use. Now we get into the real fun stuff. So I kind of noticed that my local PetSmart has a ton of bird toys now, and a lot of them are on sale for some reason. So this is the All Living Things bird toy foraging spinny thing. I don't know what to call this, honestly, but what you do is you put it in the cage, and you can put it in different directions, and the animal has to spin it down so that they can eat from this little hole. And I'm going to be using something that can come out really easily, because obviously rats don't have beaks, they can't go inside here. However, they can very much use it, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun seeing how they figure it out. The next thing we have here is another foraging toy. You can see this one came with a bunch of stuff inside it, and I think it's going to be really fun for the rats to pull it out and chew on it, but I'm also going to try hiding some larger treats in here so they have to kind of go between the bars and pull it out. And the nice thing about this is that it's actually large enough for them to stick their hands through, so it'll be kind of like a bird's beak, instead it's the rat's hands, and they can go and pull stuff out. Okay, so I bought another feeder, and this one is for food. Don't ask me why, I just saw this, it was on sale, and I think it would look really cool in the rat's cage, kind of because Cream has started to hoard her Oxbow, which is kind of annoying. Maybe it's because I've been feeding it out of all these bird foraging toys, so she doesn't have automatic access, but I thought I would try something that's kind of like a food hopper, but even more direct in that the rats can't really get inside. And yes, it's made of plastic, which means that it's very susceptible to being chewed. However, my current rats don't actually chew plastic. Weird, I know. But since they don't chew plastic, this should be perfect for them, and I'm just going to try it out. So the next thing I have here is another bird foraging toy, and I know it looks kind of stupid, but basically you put it in the cage, and this thing has to be turned and then pulled open in order for the rats to get to the food. So at first I'm just going to keep it closed like this so they don't have to turn it, just open it, and then I'm gradually going to start turning it so that they actually have to learn to turn it and then open it for more foraging fun. So I think this is going to be really fun in the cage, and they're going to figure it out pretty quickly. And then we come to my final foraging toy, and this is probably the most complex one I got. And for this one, basically what you do is you unscrew the top here, and you put some small treats inside, and these little things here, they're little sliding doors almost. They have a little hole in the middle, and they also have some spots that are completely solid. So if a solid spot is over a hole, then the food can't come down. If the hole is under a hole, then the food can come down. So at first I'm going to just put food in this layer so the rats have to learn how to use the bottom one, and I suspect they will figure this out pretty quickly. Might take them a little longer than a bird because they're going to have to use their mouth and their hands together, but I think they'll still figure it out pretty quick. And then after that, I'm going to put it in the second chamber and finally the top chamber, and they're just going to figure everything out, and I think it's going to be a really fun foraging experience. So that's really all I have for you today, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Maybe it gave you some ideas for what you can buy for your own rats. I will get back to you guys on how these foraging toys worked out as I use them with my girls. I'm going to start introducing them today, and then after that we'll see how long it takes them to figure each thing out. So as always, if you would like more rat care or rat trick training tips, feel free to visit my website at www.rattricks.weebly.com, link in the description. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you next time. Bye!